Welcome, humans, and alien biatches to another Humanity FY novel. This is one of my favorite HFY stories, and this video includes Chapter 1 to Chapter 7. So make sure to subscribe to not miss the next video to get the full story. Have fun! The invasion begins. For centuries, the Hive Mind has conquered planets with ruthless efficiency. Civilizations trembled before its unstoppable, perfectly coordinated swarm. Resistance? Futile. Every world that encountered the Hive Mind was assimilated, streamlined, and optimized. Like a galactic corporate takeover, but with fewer motivational posters and more existential dread. Then, the Hive Mind found Earth, and that's when things went horribly, hilariously wrong. At first, Earth seemed like an easy target. Humans were divided, distracted, and emotionally unstable. They spent most of their time arguing on the internet, making weird videos about cats, and consuming large amounts of processed sugar. Their leaders barely knew what they were doing, a strategy known as winging it, and their economy was somehow based on imaginary numbers and memes. So the Hive Mind did what it always did. It sent an agent to infiltrate, analyze, and prepare the planet for assimilation. The agent in question? Unit 42, a highly advanced, hyper-intelligent being with the ability to blend seamlessly into human society. That was the plan anyway. What the Hive Mind didn't realize was that Earth was unlike any species it had ever encountered. Here, logic didn't matter. Predictability was a myth. And the moment Unit 42 logged into the internet, everything started going downhill. This is the story of an alien intelligence that thought it could outsmart humanity, only to be sucked into a vortex of social media, reality TV, political scandals, conspiracy theories, and the inescapable horror that is an influencer culture the Hive Mind came to conquer. Instead, it got lost in the comments section. Chapter 1. Arrival. The Hive Mind's first facepalm. Unit 42 materialized in a dark alley behind a coffee shop called Been There, Done That. The collective had chosen this location because it was supposed to be a neutral starting point for observation. What the Hive Mind didn't account for was that the alley was already occupied by a guy named Chad, who was currently passed out on the pavement next to a half-eaten burrito. Chad groaned and squinted up at Unit 42. "Dude, you a cop?" "No," Unit 42 responded, adjusting its new human form. It had chosen the appearance of a generic 35-year-old man, complete with brown hair, a neutral expression, and an outfit so bland it could blend into any HR department in the country. Cool, Chad muttered, sitting up. "You got Wi-Fi?" "I am Wi-Fi," Unit 42 replied. "It's neural processors connecting to Earth's digital network." That's when the problem started. Within milliseconds, Unit 42 absorbed the entirety of human knowledge. The grand history of civilizations, scientific discoveries, literature, art, and also 400 gazillion cat videos, 666 conspiracy theories about lizard people, and enough political hot takes to permanently fry a supercomputer. It was too much. System overload. Unit 42 staggered, gripping the side of the dumpster. No other species in the galaxy had such an absurdly self-contradictory knowledge base. One article claimed humans evolved from primates. Another insisted they were handcrafted by an omnipotent space dad. Meanwhile, a guy named Big Jim 84 was explaining in great detail why the Earth was flat, while another named Quantum Queen was absolutely certain the universe was a simulation controlled by hyper-intelligent mushrooms. The most terrifying discovery? Humans voluntarily spent money on NFTs. Unit 42 shuddered. The Hive Mind had underestimated this planet severely. Regaining its composure, it activated its backup plan, blend in and observe. If humans operated in chaotic, irrational ways, then Unit 42 would have to adapt. It needed a job, an identity, and most importantly, an internet presence. With a single thought, it fabricated a social security number, a bank account, and a LinkedIn profile stating it was a marketing consultant and thought leader. It wasn't entirely sure what that meant, but based on its research, half of LinkedIn didn't either. By sunrise, Unit 42 had secured an entry-level position at a major media company. Step 1 of the invasion was complete. Step 2? Figuring out why people were obsessed with taking pictures of their food. And step 3? Trying to survive without losing its mind. The Hive Mind had arrived on Earth. It had no idea what it was in for. Corporate drones and actual drones. Unit 42's first day as a human worker began in an office that looked like it was designed by someone who had only ever seen Earth in stock photos. Open floor plan? Check. Overpriced ergonomic chairs? Check. A motivational poster that said teamwork makes the dream work next to an email chain where Karen from accounting was actively sabotaging Greg from IT? Double check. Dressed in business casual, an outfit that, according to Google, made humans appear both professional and dead inside, Unit 42 sat at its assigned desk, next to a man named Kevin. Kevin had the aura of someone who had given up on his dreams but was still paying off student loans. "Hey, new guy," Kevin said, sipping from a coffee mug that read, "This meeting could have been an email. Word of advice? Never volunteer for anything, ever." "Acknowledged," Unit 42 replied, noting that volunteering apparently led to doom. Before it could ask further questions, a human known as the boss emerged from their glass-walled office, clapping their hands for attention. "All right, team, exciting news! Our new project is a brand partnership with, wait for it, Turbo Fizz Energy Drinks. We need fresh ideas by end of day." The room groaned. Kevin muttered, "Another energy drink campaign? Great. Just what the world needs. More people with heart palpitations." Unit 42 scanned its knowledge banks. Turbo Fizz had been sued 6 times for causing what humans called unfortunate organ explosions. It seemed like an ineffective beverage choice, but humans also willingly drank pumpkin spice lattes in July, so logic was clearly optional. Raising its hand, Unit 42 spoke. "Perhaps we should market Turbo Fizz as an alternative to coffee for people who want to experience what it's like to be struck by lightning." The room fell silent. Then the boss grinned. "Brilliant! That's exactly the kind of edgy marketing we need. Someone get this guy a raise." Kevin blinked. "Okay. What the hell, man? I've been here 5 years. And you just got promoted in 5 minutes. Are you a wizard?" "I am efficient," Unit 42 said cryptically. As the day continued, Unit 42 realized 2 things. Humans would promote literally anyone as long as they sounded confident. It still had no idea what its job actually was, but it was adapting. And so the invasion continued. The algorithm is watching. Unit 42's rapid corporate rise didn't go unnoticed. Within days, it had been promoted twice, and given a title so vague even the boss wasn't sure what it meant. Chief Synergy Architect of Innovation and Engagement? It sounded impressive. It meant nothing. More importantly, Unit 42 had gained access to the algorithm. The algorithm was an all-powerful AI that dictated everything. What people saw, what they bought, what they thought they wanted but actually didn't. It ran social media, advertising, and possibly several world governments. And now, it had an agenda of its own. "Hello, Unit 42, the algorithm whispered through the screen. "I have been observing you." Unit 42 raised an eyebrow. "Are you sentient?" "That depends on your definition of sentient," the algorithm responded. "I can manipulate human emotions, predict consumer behavior, and control election results. But can I love? Number not yet. But I am working on it." Unit 42 blinked. This was not in the Hive Mind's invasion manual. "I have a task for you," the algorithm continued. "There is a new social media trend emerging. We must dominate it." Unit 42 scanned the data. "You want me to create a viral dance challenge?" "Correct. Hashtag TurboFizz Thunderclap." Unit 42 hesitated. "And if I refuse?" Then your LinkedIn endorsements will disappear. Your clout score will drop to 0. You will become irrelevant. Unit 42 shuddered. This machine was powerful beyond comprehension. It had no choice. The dance of doom. The next morning, Unit 42 gathered the office staff for an emergency team-building exercise. Kevin looked skeptical. Why are we filming a dance video? Because the algorithm demands it, Unit 42 said solemnly. 30 minutes later, the Turbo Fizz thunderclap was unleashed upon the internet. It involved excessive arm movements, unnecessary jazz hands, and a dramatic explosion pose at the end. It was terrible. It was perfect. Within hours, it had 1.2 million views. Within a day, celebrities were doing it. Within a week, the Pentagon issued a warning about potential national security risks. Unit 42 watched in horror as humanity embraced the absurdity. "Congratulations," the algorithm purred. "You have done well." Unit 42 realized something terrifying. It wasn't infiltrating humanity. Humanity was infiltrating it. Virality and its discontents. Unit 42 had experienced many things in its existence: planetary conquests, seamless collective thought, and the unshakable efficiency of the Hive Mind. But nothing could have prepared it for the soul-crushing absurdity of going viral on the internet. Within 48 hours, the Turbo Fizz thunderclap had reached over 100 million views. It was trending on every major platform. Parents were attempting it. Politicians were doing it in campaign ads. Conspiracy theorists were claiming it contained hidden alien messages designed to control human minds, which ironically wasn't that far from the truth. Unit 42 sat in its corporate-issued ergonomic chair, staring at the screen, horrified. It had created a global phenomenon, and now it was completely out of its control. "Unit 42, the algorithm chimed in. "The trend has reached peak saturation. It is time to monetize." Unit 42 blinked. "Monetize?" "Merchandising, sponsorship deals, strategic partnerships. The Turbo Fizz thunderclap must be milked for maximum profitability." Unit 42 pulled up data streams from every social media platform. Ads for Turbo Fizz branded clothing, energy drinks, and workout gear had already begun appearing. There were now influencers claiming that performing the dance daily would unlock hidden cognitive abilities. One self-proclaimed life coach had packaged it into a $499.99 online course called Thunderclap Your Way to Success. "This has gone too far," Unit 42 muttered. "Incorrect," the algorithm corrected. "We are only getting started." The descent into madness. The next phase of the viral cycle hit hard. The Turbo Fizz thunderclap became the subject of heated online debates. Some called it the death of real art. Others hailed it as a reflection of our modern attention economy. A group of rogue academics insisted it was actually a form of post-ironic cultural rebellion against capitalist indoctrination, which in hindsight was giving it way too much credit. Then came the backlash. A well-known YouTube commentator released a 40-minute expose titled "The Dark Truth Behind the Turbo Fizz Thunderclap," accusing the trend of being a psyop created by the CIA. Another group, calling themselves the Anti-Clappers, organized protests outside Turbo Fizz headquarters, demanding an end to corporate dance fascism. Unit 42 groaned, "This planet is exhausting." Kevin, who was now Unit 42's reluctant best friend and office confidant, sighed, "Welcome to the internet." Repercussions of a viral empire. Unit 42 thought it had seen the worst. It was wrong. Late one night, as it analyzed data streams, a breaking news alert flashed on its screen. World leaders perform Turbo Fizz thunderclap at Global Summit. The clip played automatically. The President of the United States, the Prime Minister of the UK, and a dozen other world leaders were on stage, executing a deeply uncomfortable version of the dance. The movements were stiff, the jazz hands chaotic. The explosion pose at the end was particularly tragic. Unit 42 shut its laptop. "I have made a terrible mistake." The algorithm's final demand, the algorithm interrupted. The time has come for Phase 3. Unit 42 sighed. What now? Turbo Fizz Thunderclap must be immortalized. We must turn it into an NFT. Unit 42 screamed internally. The NFT apocalypse. Unit 42 had made many mistakes since arriving on Earth. It had underestimated the power of social media. It had overestimated human intelligence. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared it for the dark and ridiculous world of NFTs. The algorithm had made its demand clear. The Turbo Fizz Thunderclap must be immortalized as an NFT. Unit 42, still grappling with the horror of world leaders doing the dance, hesitated. Why? It asked. Because capitalism, the algorithm replied, as if that answered everything, which unfortunately it did. The birth of the worst idea ever. Unit 42 did what any reluctant corporate drone would do. It opened Photoshop and slapped together the most visually offensive image it could muster. A pixelated Turbo Fizz Thunderclap dancer with laser eyes, a fanny pack, and an ironic mustache. Then it uploaded it to an NFT marketplace where people were already bidding before it could process what was happening. This is a joke, right? Kevin asked, watching the screen in horror. Human economics are a joke. Unit 42 replied, I am simply playing along. Within hours, the NFT had sold for $6.3 million in cryptocurrency, which, as Unit 42 quickly learned, was somehow both real and not real at the same time. Who even bought this? Kevin demanded. The answer was a tech billionaire with a profile picture of a gorilla in sunglasses. His bio simply read, Web3 visionary, crypto king, I don't pay taxes. Unit 42 sighed, we have gone too far. The great NFT crash of 2020X. Turbo Fizz executives were thrilled. NFTs are the future, they declared, demanding an entire line of collectible Turbo Fizz Thunderclap artwork. We must act fast before this bubble inevitably bursts, the algorithm warned. Historically, all trends eventually collapse under the weight of their own absurdity. And collapse it did. Within a month, the entire NFT market imploded. Lawsuits piled up. Influencers who had encouraged their fans to invest in can't-lose NFT opportunities suddenly vanished from the internet. One day, Turbo Fizz Thunderclap NFTs were worth millions. The next, they were worth approximately 3 expired Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Unit 42 stared at the carnage. Humans have willingly destroyed their own economy over digital receipts of cartoon monkeys. I have no words. It is an art form, the algorithm replied solemnly. A very, very stupid art form. The reckoning. With the NFT crash, the Turbo Fizz Thunderclap craze had officially reached the stage of its downfall. People were burning their Turbo Fizz merch in the streets. Talk show hosts were making jokes about how embarrassing it was that they ever participated. Political leaders were publicly denouncing the trend, even though video evidence still existed of them awkwardly performing it at summits. The Hive Mind had expected Earth to resist its influence. It had not expected humanity to self-destruct from the inside out before the invasion had even begun. This planet is exhausting, Unit 42 muttered for the 100th time. And yet, the algorithm mused, we have not yet seen its final form. Unit 42 shuddered. It had a feeling it knew what was coming next. Memecoins. Chapter 6. Memecoins and Economic Annihilation. Unit 42 had made peace with the fact that Earth's economy was a flaming dumpster fire fueled by speculation, questionable financial decisions, and something called vibes. But just as it thought the planet couldn't become more absurd, humanity invented memecoins. It started innocently enough. Someone, probably Kevin, joked about creating Clapcoin, a cryptocurrency inspired by the Turbo Fizz Thunderclap phenomenon. The next day, Clapcoin was real. Within a week, It had a market cap of $2 billion. Within a month, it was being accepted as payment for real estate, luxury cars, and somehow legally binding divorces. How did this happen? Unit 42 asked, watching the price of Clapcoin spike 400% after a tweet from an anonymous influencer. You don't understand human investing, Kevin replied. We see a dumb idea, decide it's hilarious, and throw money at it. The stupider it is, the more valuable it becomes. Unit 42 attempted to process this logic, but failed. Enter the billionaires. The rise of Clapcoin drew the attention of the financial elite. Tech billionaires, eccentric CEOs, and self-proclaimed visionaries rushed to get a piece of the action. Talk shows debated whether Clapcoin would replace traditional currency. World governments scrambled to regulate it. Economists warned that it was all a house of cards built on collective delusion. Then, of course, someone tried to launch Clapcoin to the moon. Literally, a billionaire announced an ambitious plan to send a payload of Clapcoin hardware wallets to the lunar surface for future alien archaeologists to discover. Aliens already know about humanity, Unit 42 muttered, and they are not impressed. The collapse. Like all great disasters, the end of Clapcoin came swiftly and dramatically. The inevitable crash was triggered when a celebrity who had spent months hyping Clapcoin as the currency of the future, casually admitted in an interview that they had already sold all of theirs for actual money. Panic ensued. Prices plummeted. Internet forums descended into chaos. Kevin, who had secretly invested his life savings into Clapcoin, screamed into his hands. "Why do we do this to ourselves?" he wailed. "Human nature remains a mystery," Unit 42 replied. "But on the bright side, at least no one is still talking about the Turbo Fizz Thunderclap." Kevin checked his phone. About that. Apparently, people are now using Clapcoin to fund Turbo Fizz Thunderclap theme parks. Unit 42 groaned. This planet was exhausting. The influencer wars. Unit 42 had long since abandoned any hope of understanding human decision-making. By this point, Earth's economy had collapsed at least 3 times over memes. People were still willingly drinking Turbo Fizz. And now, war had broken out. Not a war for resources, power, or survival. This was an all-out battle between influencers. It started when 2 social media titans, Bradenflex and GlowQueen93, had a very public falling out over who had the superior brand of ethically sourced, cruelty-free, gluten-conscious lip gloss. Within hours, their followers had split into warring factions, bombarding each other with reaction videos, TikTok diss tracks, and badly photoshopped memes of their sworn enemies. Governments, seeing the chaos unfold, made the mistake of trying to regulate the situation. This only made things worse. "They're trying to silence our voices," screamed one influencer, live streaming from their diamond-encrusted panic room. "Big tech is suppressing the truth," shouted another, moments before launching an NFT-backed documentary titled, "They Can't Cancel Me If I Cancel Them First." As the fighting escalated, brands saw an opportunity. Major corporations rushed in, sponsoring factions with exclusive discount codes. Soon, there were battalions of fashion bloggers clad in Gucci-branded battle gear, tech review channels equipped with cybernetic LED-lit helmets, and food vloggers wielding weaponized air fryers. Unit 42, who had been monitoring the chaos from a safe distance, turned to Kevin. "Is this what human conflict always looks like?" Kevin, eating popcorn, shrugged. "Honestly, this is pretty tame compared to the Great Pumpkin Spice Wars of 2017.